the message, over 3 hours, I think about 5 hours, I listened to the message of Pastor Koju. And you know, when you listen to the message on YouTube, there's a way it goes to the next. So the message of Leke Alda came up. I finished that. The message of Olakule Shorinyo, how many of us know PK, came up. I listened to that. When I was done, I didn't know when I started praying the Holy Ghost for another 3 hours. And while I was praying in the Spirit, I was receiving this from him, and I began to write things down. You see, prayer is not only you speaking, it's you having conversations with God. So when you come to his presence, you don't just come and rant or to come and make noise. You come with a Bible and a note, because he is going to tell you things eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. You will receive revelation, and that transcends the education that you have. So we have people that have masters and all of that, everywhere, but only few people have revelation. And that's because only few people spend time in the presence of God. So when I was done and I wrote all those things down, I knew that was, I designed a full structure of my business in that 5 hours of engagement with God. Full structure of my business. I can tell you that since we started the business, we have never had any point of struggle. I'm not speaking by faith, I'm telling you the real fact. So the fear that I had about starting the business was that my dad had a major need then, but there were always issues of salaries and all of that. And there's a way the month always ends, before you know. So it's a different thing when you are saying the month should end because you will receive your pay. But it's a different thing for a business person to say the month will end because you have to pay a whole lot of people. So I was having that, how will I do all those things? And for years that we run the business, we've never had issues of paying anybody's salary, where we have to stress or anything. We have never had that issue. Because the structure, the system of the business came from a place of revelation. So there are necessary actions that you need to begin to take from this meeting. Some of us here, we've attended almost all the conference and seminars in Lagos. You've listened to people, and the best that you can get from it is Aya. The best you can get from it is deep. You are not deep. So permit me to, that's why I said I'll be very, so I will shake you a bit. So we come to all these meetings and we are super excited, powerful. Especially when the keyboardist just play some kind of chord, you just feel that you have goosebumps and the Holy Ghost is there. That is not it though. The point is, in the boardroom when there is no keyboard, how do you manifest the Holy Ghost intelligence? So we need to understand that we are called to an assignment. So there are so many things that was given and said, right? And I was just shaking my head. Very powerful stuff. So when you listen to all those things, the next point is, how do I begin to take action on these things? The products of God are global. Human is the product of God. We have humans everywhere. Rain is his product. Rain everywhere. The sea is his product everywhere. The sand is his product everywhere. So if God can have a global product, why can't you have a global product? And we've gotten to that point where we have, the devil has, subtly, made us have that kind of small mindset that you cannot think of big things. And everything that you desire, you hear somebody saying is that, someone saying, if I can just have $50,000, I'm made. Like really. By the time you begin to have some kind of, it's when that $50,000 comes, the responsibility that will match it will come. So we need to now get to that dimension where we begin to operate from the riches of his glory. So it's not a function of our bank account. We know that God is our source, we cannot run out of supply. So that is the mentality that we need to have as believers in the marketplace. A key part of everything I'm saying is, let us get to that point where we are not mentally lazy as believers. So you are praying in the Holy Ghost, you are praying in tongues. Part of the things that you also get is understanding the strategy to sell. You are praying the Holy Ghost, you are praying in tongues. Part of it that you receive from all of that is having structure for your business. Right? You are praying the Holy Ghost, you are praying in tongues. Part of the thing that you need to begin to understand is that I need to have a skill. How many of you are interested in tech here? You are interested in tech? Raise your hand, don't be too... That's why something, when I join, raise your hand up. We are just so packaged. Eh? Okay, I'm interested in the money of tech. all right. So the reason why I'm asking that is I'm a strong believer of we really just taking actions and doing things. So Moduco will give scholarship to 10 people here for free that will partake in our program that is coming up. So majorly we are focusing on data analysis and machine learning. I think by next 2 months. So those that are interested, even if it's more than 10, just be a part of it. Alright. So please, when you learn these things, use it. Use it. Don't learn it and go and ask God, should I use it? Once you learn it, begin to use it. How can you use it? Do you want to start, looking for internship? Do you want to start asking people for projects you can just do for them at no cost? And begin to build your portfolio. So don't over-spiritualize things. Now, somebody, this thing I said now, is answer to your prayer. Your miracle has come. You see, be asking God, when will you do it? God has done it. You know how much that costs. You know what it costs. The people that we teach you will pay them, will do all those things. We pay for platforms and all of that. So they say this thing, what you don't pay for, you don't pay attention. So don't let your case, right, be like that. How many of us are ready to take action today? Praise God. So I'll be giving us some few points and I'll try to be very fast with it, right? And the first thing I'll mention is cultivate your own domain. Cultivate your own domain. So you must till, how do I put it now? You must till your own land to be satisfied with the bread. We need to have a sense of ownership as believers. You need to have a sense of ownership that you are building your own team, you are building your own ecosystem, you are building your own community. A few years ago, I wanted to meet a particular person, and I was trying to engage him. So I could not reach him because I was working somewhere. So I created. I've done so many things in this life. Prophetsional was saying that they are suffered. It's my colleague. When something starts, Hillary, I'll be finishing. I've done so many things. Let me list them for you. I've worked in a security company, done security. Before that, I worked in a security. No, let me even go to the beginning. My father had a security company, right? Spy hole security, doing very well. So at the point things started going so bad, and I needed to, do jam, and all of that. So, Pops, I need money for my jam, and trust me, I can be very stubborn. I need my money for that. I need this, I need another. I'll give it. It was taking time. I said, look, can you just put me in one of your place? Let me just do gate man there and collect salary and go and pay for my whatever. So I went to the place. They put I was a gate man there, right? After my dad paid me my salary. I went to pay for my jam. My dad is rugged, and I paid for my jam. So I struggled through school and all of that. Thank God, I did well in school, and I never really had a plan to look for a job. I said I was going to build my own stuff. But when it's so sweet to say I'll become a business person, and you come out. I used to shout in school, favor market, favor, plus it was a labor market. So I came out and I, struggling a bit. But what I did was that I did not just stay there. I was going to intern in different organizations. So I went to Proton Security. I told them, I said, look, guys, you don't need to pay me. I started, working there. And at a point, they said an opening was there, so I can do interview and all of that. So, but when I was, okay, let me not say this part, so let me just protect their brand. So I left Proton. I went to another company, an insurance company, insurance. Because of my energy, they said, they will paint it for you. You will be like a senior manager, but they don't pay you shishi. You know, you will handle the whole of this local government, and and all of that. Hillary will like your whatever. And before we start work, I used to lead worship sessions. It was always very. So I was popular in that place. It was a Lagos state government, whatever. So after some time, I thought like, man, I will not do this thing again. So I left. I started dog business. Right? I started selling dogs, large Wabu dogs from South Africa. Started selling all these things, and also I'm saying all of this so that you start to know that there's a process. Right? We don't blow in this kingdom, we grow. So I started, breeding dogs and all of that. So I said, okay, so how do I do it in such a way that, because I was not having the money to buy one Babu then. One Babu pop at that time was about 500,000 naira. So I was not having the money then. So I said, okay, what I would do is, let me create a WhatsApp community, right, and start talking about dogs. So people will see me like, okay, this guy knows a lot about, dogs and everything. And they will start coming to my community. So when they start coming to my community, I will see someone that will so trust me and say, guy, take 2 or 3 dogs, go and breed them, we'll share the puppies and all of that. The strategy worked. I got those posts and all of that. After I got the dog, I just about Bimo. The dogs, they didn't give birth and everything, so the struggle and and all of that. But I was still in the business. The WhatsApp group became the biggest WhatsApp platform for Wabu dogs in Nigeria. So we had guys in the US, in South Africa, all of them, they were on that platform. After I was done with that again, at the point I said, man, this dog thing is not working. I started dry cleaning business. Right? So I went to the house, I looked at my mom's very big generator, very useless in the house. I looked at the gen, I said, Momsy, let me take this gen, let me use to go and make money. My mom said, okay, do you have a space for you? I said, I don't have a space. So I called someone, I said, bro, do you know anyone that has a space and all of that? So while we were checking, he said he has his brother-in-law. That brother-in-law had an accident, so they amputated his leg. So, he left his shop and everything, was not doing anything with that shop again. I said, okay, let me start the business in the shop and I'll be giving a percentage every month, that kind of thing. So we had that agreement. I brought the gen, everything. I went to the market, bought all and all of that. So one thing that I do not like to do is I don't like washing. So I remember I said, so how will I now start washing people's clothes? Right? So I started putting things online, recruiting people. That's when I knew that, man, people are looking for jobs. You see people come with suit and tie for dry cleaning. I'm very serious. They never knew that the guy that is interviewing them is struggling. But because of packaging. So, tall guys, they will come for the interview and everything. And I saw one guy, the guy said, I've been washing for over 20 years. You see this country? The guy said, I've been washing for... See, the guy was so unguarded during my interview. The other guys that came, they sat down, they were so composed because they wanted to get the job. But this guy just sat anyhow. When he said, bro, just give me this work. If I wash for you, from his blue, you will know. I said, okay. I said, no problem. I got to the job and all of that. So I went to print different flyers and everything. So I was in this area called Ikotu. So on Governor Road. So I'll be going to different places. I'll be sharing flyers. I'll go to hospitals. I'll go to hotels. I'll go to different. I'll be sharing. I'll be working with my barefoot. So after sharing that flyer for like a week, no customer. I said, so this business thing. I went to my dry cleaning, whatever. I shut down everything. The day that, before I even shut down, one place that I went to, they told me, said, can you come and help us wash our duvet? So they gave me the duvet. I have forgotten that dry cleaning is not just soap and water. There are chemicals that you need to take off stain and everything. I don't know where they saw that money duvet from. Very thick duvet, had a lot of stains and everything. So I took it back, and then that's when I got to realize that this guy too has a dry cleaning business, maybe Otedola's wife or something, So I'd done different research and all of that. So they asked me how much will it cost. I did not consider what I have to pay. I did not consider the soap. Let me tell you something. Never negotiate when you are hungry. You will do nonsense. So I said 500 naira. So I took it. So after I stepped out of their gates, I said 500 naira. I said, even from here back to my house, the money is gone. So anyway, I took it. I got back to the house and I called my sister. I said, look, you will watch this thing, and it will be clean. He said, I know. I cannot do it. I said, no, baby, let's just wash it in our bed. We're just starting this thing. We soaked that away for like 4 or 5 days. This thing did not go away. I said, just dry it and let's take it back. So after the day I was taking it back, I was just praying I should not meet those people at all. God in his infinite mercy, I did not meet them at all. So I met the security guard, I gave him, and I said, Madam there, I was saying, she know the boss, she don't need like mission. Just take this thing. And I just ran away. The next day I came back, I closed down my business. The same boss that brought all the chain and everything to the place, the same boss that took everything back. Just thinking that what will I do? Now, before that time, I've been aggressively studying about different areas of tech, digital marketing, and all of that. So, I went somewhere, landed for about 6 months, and when I was done, I said, okay, I'll set up my own thing. I called one of my friends, Ahmed is in the UK now. I called him, I said, Ahmed, let's come together, let's build this company together, let's build this business together. He said, I read that we are going to see money to get office space. I said, don't worry, because I was already getting some clients, as at that time. Now, who are these clients? These clients, they are like 70-year-old women in real estate, all these Oriflame clients, these Oriflame people, network marketing people and all of that, So sometimes one of them might just call me, this grown-up women, they just call me, hello Larry, so that ad that you were running, the thing is not doing well, please can you come to my house? So I was staying in Yanopaja. I will come from Yanopaja, I can go to maybe somewhere in Lekki to just go and help one woman to click a button. But man, I was building, right? So I said I would go down to a place and do all of that. So I will get there hungry with the mindset that when I get to a place, at least I will eat something good. But I had forgotten that I was going to a person that's in Lekki, and there's one between how to package Lekki food for you and how you will eat proper food. So I got to a place, and when she gave me food after serious hunger, she just took like some shrimps, small rice beside it, and cold Fanta. When I was done eating it, I was hungrier than I was. So another client will call me in Abule Egba, go there. So one person will pay me like 15,000 naira in a month. So I will struggle if I get them to pay me. True life story. So, but I told my president, Ahmed, we'll build this company, we'll do this thing together. So I said, okay, no problem. So I was making some money then. I was still okay, and I would rent up workspaces. I started teaching people digital marketing also. So at the point I said, oh, Baba, I cannot continue with this thing. So I made left, went to another company, and I started building. Then it was not called Colored Works, it was called Andals, right? And I was building it. So from Falomo MTN office, right? I would trek, I would walk down, I would enter different big, you need to be bold. I will enter different companies, no matter how big, no matter whatever. I will come and tell them, I say, look, my company will do digital marketing, I'll give them my business card and everything. So we have guys that are doing that. I said, don't worry, I'll do it for you for free, just aggressively. From there, I will take bus, I will go to Lekki, that Lekki Peninsula, whatever. From there, I will walk down to the end, entering different places to market my business. One day I came to Allen, I walked from Allen. That's when I knew that if you walk from Allen, trek down to Okpebi, if you walk down, it's a fence you meet at the end. If you walk, just keep on walking, you will pass Salvation bus stop, you will pass Okpebi, just keep going down, you will meet the fence at the end. So I was walking, I would enter different places. So I went to a particular place one day and I sat down there. The lady said, our boss is not around, but tell us about your business. And I started pitching with suits. Pitching and all of that, and I was speaking, and after I was done for about an hour, real stuff, an hour, the lady said, that's our boss there, can you explain to him again? If not for the Holy Spirit, I will give her very slap. He said, can you explain to him again? I started explaining to their boss. It was a dental, whatever. I still did not get the whole stuff. So I did all these things for about a year, until one day I said, okay, I can't continue doing all of this. And so I said, how do I get just one person? Some people, you need to identify people that are seeds and people that are fruits. You see, if you identify seeds, they can produce multiple fruits. Some people are not seeds. You just have them, you take your food and you're good. For some people, they are seeds. So you can count how many seeds you have inside an orange, but you can't count how many orange you have in a seed. How many oranges you have in a seed. So at that point, I begin to understand that concept. That is not really a function of 1 million clients. You can have one person that can change your life totally. So I started, I remember I read a book when I was in 200 level in school then, Free from Corporate Slavery, written by Jimmy Tewe. The forward was done by Philadelphia Toye. So I read that book not because of Jimmy, but because of Philadelphia Toye. So at the point I said, okay, I need to even meet this Jimmy guy because of something that he said in that book. Jimmy said he was working in UB as a senior manager as at that time. He was 28, he was earning now around 28,000. That was almost $1 million. Had a house and everything, but he left all of that to pursue consulting. So I was looking at why will you leave that kind of thing so you want to pursue consulting and all of that? So that I was going to meet him. So one day I was just meditating, how do I connect with him? I was just surfing the net. Then I read a story about him. He said when he was in school, he spoke to about 2 or 3 of his friends. That's where he realized that he had a gift for consulting and all of that. And then he mentioned a particular company called Websoft. You see, when God is orchestrating your journey, you don't need to apply your logic to it. Just let him know. So when I saw Websoft, I said, Websoft, this must be the company of Mr. Neil at Ilupeju. I said, okay. So I picked my phone, I called Mr. I said, Mr. Neil, do you know Jimmy Tewe? Now, I said I had a dog business, right? And I created a particular WhatsApp group. Mr. Neil too was trying to breed dogs. I never knew this man, a very big man. I never knew. So he joined the WhatsApp group. I was educating him on waggles and all of that. And Sani said I was the best man. I was Jimmy Tewe's best man. I said, really? Wow. He said, yeah, my parents and his friends were professors in the University of Ibadan and all of that. So I can give his number now. And I told him something. I said, don't give me his number now. When I'm ready, I will ask for his contact. What I meant by that is that as at that time, I have no value to give to Jimmy Tewe. You will mess up a relationship if you are going empty-handed. So if you are connecting with somebody, you have to engage that person with value. You have to have something that you are giving to that person that will make so that relationship is not a relationship where it's not a pity relationship. That person will respect you in that engagement that you guys have together because you are giving him something. So I told him, I said, when I'm ready, I will engage you and all of that. So I started studying a couple of things in tech and all of that. So after 2 years after 2 years, I said, give me Jimmy Tewe's number. So he gave me Jimmy Tewe's number, and when he gave me his line, I sent him a chat. I said, good day, sir, I got a number from Mr. Nii and all of that. And it was very hard reaching out to him. For a month, I was struggling to reach him. So one day, he just said, find me. As I said, find me. I said, okay, no problem. So I went online, I typed his name. So I realized that Jimmy Tewe is a pastor in King's Walk, Dr. K's church. He just said, so that Sunday, I said, I won't come to church. I'll be going to so place. So I was the first person to get to his church that day. So the technical guys, they've said everything, so I sat down in the church. And people were coming in, I did not see Jimmy Tewe. I did not see anybody. So, but because I've spent so much time on his Instagram handle, I recognized the face of his wife, the son and daughter. So I saw the son and daughter, they came in, I said, okay, this must be the church. I saw the wife, she came in, I said, this must be the church. The service started, praise and worship, everything, I did not see Jimmy. The wife being, preached that day, powerful message, I did not see Jimmy. So after the whole thing, because I was the first timer, they had to set the camera, what do you explain about our service and all of that, and I was talking. And I was about going, they stopped me back. Jimmy did not come. They stopped me and said, please, come back. We lost the video that we did. When God is working sometimes, you might not just understand what he's doing. God can be doing some things in your life, you're looking like this is hard, I can't take it, I can't do that. Just let God move. One of the first things that we saw about the Holy Ghost in Genesis, that the Spirit of the Lord was moving over the surface of the deep. We saw movement. Just let him move in your life. Don't try to distort the movement of God in your life. Sometimes you might not know, but something that you should not do, or something that you must always do, is that stay in gratitude and be joyful. I was never at any point where I said I will sit down. I understand that people can have depression. I was never depressed. I was never in that down moment, in that pity. No, I was always thankful. I was always grateful to God. And so I said, okay, I'll do the video again. So I said I did the video, and as I was about stepping out, I saw a Ford SUV that just came in. So because I've seen Jimmy picture a lot of times, I know how the back of his head look like. So as I saw the Ford, I saw the glass, I said that must be Jimmy. So I waited. So he came down. The first thing he said, "Oh, Hillary, you found me." I said, "Yes, I found you." He said, "Are you in a hurry? I need to quickly acclimatize some people. Can you wait for me?" And all of that. In my head, I was like, "Hurry to where? Am I going to?" You know. So I waited for him and all of that. So he called me. We started talking and everything. So after we were done, Jimmy was about leaving. There's something in tech that they call CTA, call to action, right? So Jimmy was about leaving, and I realized that there was no CTA after our conversation. So which means that there is nothing that will spark the next meeting. So if Jimmy should go like that, is either I will lose that connection or I'll become a pest to him, because guy, what are we discussing now? So he entered into the SUV, was about going. I just went to the just said, "Sir, please, what can I just do for you? What do you need, right? What can I do for you? You know I have this skill, I can do this." He said, "Okay, Larry, just go and help me make." How much did he call it? Was it 10 million or so? Go and prepare a digital marketing strategy that will help me make 10 million in a month. And the next time I said, "So if I can do that, I can make 10 million. I'm not doing for myself to make it." I said, "Guy, you don't want me." So when he said that, I said, "Okay, no problem, I'll do it." So I just said, "Sir, when can I send you a message and all of that?" He gave me the time. So I went home, I sat down, prepared different things, printed documents, I sent to him. When he said, "You're just writing text, I can't see numbers, I can't see figures and everything," I said, "Okay." So I went back again, I did numbers, I started faking numbers, I put big numbers, maybe to shock him. Started putting numbers and everything, I sent to him. He had no response. So at the point on a Friday, I remember very well. Now, as at that time, I was staying in a 2-bedroom flat. No, I was not a big boy. Calm down. I was staying in a 2-bedroom flat somewhere in Yanopaja, right? You see, if you want to rent an apartment, you need something to tell. So you experience, do you know what to say? When they told me the rent, Pastor Joe, when they told me the rent for a 2-bedroom flat for 150,000, I should have known. But because I saw the tiles is something like this, but it was white. So I saw tiles, very large sitting room, dining, everything. I said, "This awesome." Happily, I paid the 150K. It was just one day that my brother came to visit me. He now sent me a picture. I was out, sent me a picture. He said, "This is your house." I said, "Where's my house?" He said, "No." He said, "This is inside the house." I was seeing water and all of that. I said, "No, it's not my house now." So when I came back, I didn't see water. Everywhere was clean, and I said, "But I cleaned today." Then my landlord came downstairs. He used to call me Josie. He said, "Josie, I've tried for lady. Money kilo she show big bonbon." He said, "No." He said, "I've been mopping the money more, but I don't want to." So I just said, "What about and all that?" So there was a day that I was sleeping inside the house on the bed, and I just saw that. I was just going like this. There's this song that this guy sang now. What's this song? This guy, "Oh my God." I said, "What's going on?" So because I never knew. Now that there's only 2 rooms that had tiles, right? But the rooms no tiles, so it was so I had to keep it. So the carpet was lifted. Everything was straight. I'm speaking from experience. So I just dropped my leg down. That is the sound. So I just dropped my leg down. My laptop, my phone, everything was on. Now, let me tell you something. At that time, my rent was almost expiring. So I was struggling to get they don't tell the landlord anything. I was trying to get the rent. So when that thing happened, I said, "Wait, I've seen reason why I would just live here without paying the rent." So, and I was not happy really. So I said, "Sir, no, you didn't tell me." He said, "No, say lift here. You were lifting the compound, you not lift the house. So once water comes to the compound, it flows into the house." Now, I didn't even know that the problem was even worse than that. So when I went to my bedroom, that bit of, you see water gushing out aggressively. So you see me pursuing my bath, my certificate, pursuing everything when there is. As tall as I am, the water is to pass my knee. It was that crazy. So on a Friday, Jimmy called, his call came in, and I went to pick my phone. I was so excited. And he called me and said, Hilary, come and meet me in GT Bank headquarters. I've forgotten that place on the island. And I went there, wore suit and everything. There's a place of service, right? So I went there, I carried all his books. So when I entered the hall, something like this, but a bit bigger, I saw young people looking so fresh. They're the staff of GT Bank. Jimmy was lecturing them, training them, teaching them. I said, God, look at these young guys and and all of that. So I took the book. I was arranging the book for Jimmy, so that people can buy his books and all. And so after I was done, I did videos and everything for him, and so he really appreciated it. Then he called me one day. I started working in his company. About just a year after that, things began to change significantly. I did something for Jimmy around digital marketing. I mean core digital marketing. I did something for him that gave him about 50 million in 1 month. So in the space of 3 months, he had made about 200 million. Real stuff. I could see all my analytics. I saw everything about 200 million, and he was so amazed. He was so excited. At that time, I was already building my own company. That period, things changed significantly, and anytime Jimmy, so there are some people that you will do something for. Just pray that God connects with the right people. There are people that you will do so much for, you do a lot in their life, but you'll never tell your story to other people. You will become their best kept secret. But anytime Jimmy is having his webinars and everything, people ask him, PJ, we can see this, we can see that. He's always mentioning Hilary. That period, I got crazy calls from different parts of the world, from Brazil, from Rwanda, from US, from UK, from Canada, every part of the world. People calling to say, they want our service, they want this and all of that, and that changed everything significantly. People of God, just like Pastor Shotunde said, you can't suffer for long. There's a time when things actually change. But you can suffer for long if you don't pick lessons and if you don't have value. Now, for example, somebody will say, I like this person, I want to learn from this person and all of that. And you go to the person, and I'm giving you practical stuff. You go to the person's DM and you are saying hi, hello, and you are waiting for him to respond to you. So someone that you are saying, this man is busy, this man is occupied in this, and you go to his DM on Instagram and you type, hi, hello sir. Or you just drop hi, you just drop whatever, and you expect the person to respond to you. When I wanted to connect with a major figure in this country, I went to his handle and I sent hi. After I sent hi, I listed everything that I've done. I listed my services and I told him what I could do for him. And he sent the message. Now, when I got the deal from him, the first time I went was somewhere at Sheraton Hotel. When I got the deal from that person, as I said, there's from between the seed and fruit. When I got the deal from him, after that time, this person gave us a client. In 2 months, we made $30,000 profit from that client. In 2 months. Value. So you don't go to the marketplace with empty hands. And people of God, the Holy Spirit gave you your brain so that we can use it. Don't substitute don't keep the intelligence He has blessed you with, and you are being lazy by saying, I am praying about it. I'm not saying prayer is not powerful. You heard my story from the beginning, right? I'm not saying prayer is very important. But we have that intelligence, we have that knowing. We should get to that point in our lives where we understand that I have received this thing and I need to start taking action on this thing. I don't think I'll be able to go to my notes. I think I've left my notes right now, and I'll just start picking points. And something that I've realized that we do as Christians is that we say we are so humble and we don't shine our light. I'm trying to be humble, I'm trying to be careful. Somebody is telling you that, Hilary, how are you doing? Oh, meet this man, tell me about what you do. And you're doing like this. So, we just do a few things. I don't want that there's one that does a few things anyway. We just do this. This is my Instagram handle, this is my LinkedIn, and all of that. And you've spoken on major platforms. You've written books, you have publications, you are not bragging about those things. Even God brags. You are not talking about those things. You are being humble and you miss opportunities. So something that you need to start doing from now, everyone here, from today, even if it is once in a month or once in 2 months, start writing articles on major news platforms. Yeah. So you have an idea, you want to do something, you want to create something, but you've not really started. Start writing about that thing like a thought leader. Start writing about it. So someone reached out to me one day and the person wanted to give us a major deal. The person said, please, can I just check your name on Google? And the person searched my name on Google. And the person saw a lot of things that I've done. Aside my books, the person saw publications, saw everything. I'm a columnist here. I've written this on this platform. I've written this, I've done that. They saw everything online. Some of you go and search your name on Google. The only thing we'll see is your Instagram and your 2 followers. So we are not being intentional. We are not putting effort in the place of visibility. Are you getting what I'm saying? Okay. So let me do like Pastor Gideon. Let me check. Okay. He said I have 1 hour left. All right. So let me see if I can go through. So we have to be intentional about visibility. So there are some of you here that you have ideas, you want to start a business, you want to build a business. One of the ways to actually do that easily is through collaboration. So you have come to a place like this, you have to be intentional about networking. You look at them that might have a similar idea like what you have, and you can partner with that person, and it makes a lot of things easy. So when we talk about a founder and a co-founder, the co-founder might be someone that the person might not be so technical. Let's assume it is a tech space, might not be so technical, but your co-founder can be the tech person, right? So both of you can partner together, can work together to build something. For example, just yesterday, we appointed a new CEO for Colored Works. So we've gotten to that point where someone else can lead the business, right? While I focus on building the other business. So when you begin to have the understanding that true wealth is not built in isolation, you need to collaborate and partner with people to build wealth. So let's begin to think systems from now henceforth. And I'll be wrapping up to say that any idea that you have received, don't wait to have 100% clarity before you start. Just start. The miracle is in the movement. Don't wait till everything is perfect. Don't wait till I've gotten this, I've done that. You have that idea, start taking action on that idea from now. Anyhow you want to start, just start something. How many of us have business ideas here? That is, whatever the idea is. All right. If Pastor Joe permits, we can have like a small whatever for people that have ideas, and we can make that idea, come to life. Right. It could be maybe you need funding, right? It might be maybe you need some kind of counseling or whatever, whatever. All of these guys I mentioned, Jimmy, PK, Fela, and all of those guys, they are willing, right? I can bring them to a platform where you can engage with them one-on-one at no cost, right? To get all of these insights on your business. So what I'm saying in essence is that please, Christians, let us start taking action. Let us stop overthinking things. Once you have insights, once you have received the revelation, start acting on it immediately. And I pray God will help you in Jesus' name. Thank you.
If we are clapping, I believe we can do better. Wow, thank you very much, sir. If you were blessed by a session, can you just raise your hands? Thank you very much, Mr. Hilary. I got some very key points. I'll just share two. The one that really got my attention, out of the many things, many things got my attention, but I noted down a few ones, is when he said you should identify people that are seeds and people that are fruits. If you are working on any vision at all, I believe that you'll be able to relate with that. That's very, very profound. And lastly, I will mention this too. never negotiate when you are hungry. That's very profound. You know, the power of the way it took us is that in those storytelling, you will also see that you are not isolated. A lot of us feel like maybe your story is so different. You are the only one going through what you are going through. So if you can see somebody that has even had it worse than you, and now the person is in a different reality, it shows you that your case is not so damaged that you cannot come out of it. Thank you very much, sir. Can we just clap for him once again? We'll be going straight to the pitching. Yeah, those that want to pitch their business. I'm sorry, I reached out to them to know why the ACs are off now. They said they are trying to put the gen back on. This place is very hot. Please let us try to get it back on. We'll be out of here by 2. So we are going straight to the section where those that have business ideas. Where I said it as who knows, an angel investor could just be in the room, and you can see we have Mr. Hilary TK in the room. He will listen to your pitch also, and outside of that, we have a little token for. I will just. Can we welcome Mr. Adedeji Moses as we take charge of that section? And after his section, we are going to the last business of the day. That is a panel section. We have some panelists in different sectors of life. We have a business person, finance, and tech also. I think there are 5 of them. So after the business pitch, we'll be going to the panel section, and after that, we are done. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have you been blessed at all? Yes, sir. Please, let's ensure that the AC is back on for people like us that are on suits.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So very quickly, like the business pitch session, like Mr. Michael said. So very quickly, how many of us registered before now for business pitch? So just come forward quickly and occupy this front seat before the front seat here. So who else? Who else is speaking? Just occupy the front seat here. Thank you. So I think we're just 3, right? Any other person that registered before now? So, introductions. I am Adedeji. My surname is Adedeji. I identify as a business analyst. Other things I do research, market research. I also major in business consulting, such that I've worked with quite a number of startups, helping them build their business strategy. That's basically what I do. So anything that revolves around these things that I focus on. And so we have 5 people, and we have very short time to run this session. So there's going to be a countdown timer to manage individual pitches. So we have 5 people, but only 2 people are going with prizes. To anchor the session with me is Mr. Hilary. Thank you very much. So if you're anchoring the session with me, so we are going to be judging their presentations. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just going to give judgment, individual judgment. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So very quickly, we have about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 1 minute. We have about 1 minute to pitch your business. So I'm not going to tell you in any particular order. Yeah, so one of the things that actually interests people is storytelling when you're talking about your business. So I'm seeing quite a high number. How many people did you count the last time you read that?
4.
4. Yeah. Well, we have about 6 people here.
6.
So we would do 1 minute each. So 1 minute each. Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. So anything you want to say, capture it within 1 minute. Just imagine if you just had 1 minute to just tell someone about what you do. How quick will you do it? So very importantly, like I said, storytelling is very good part of pitching your business. They need to know where you're coming from. They need to know the idea behind why you're doing your business. And also, more than storytelling, I've shared all your stories. What do you have to offer? How can you alleviate the pain of the person that wants to use your product? And besides that, what is your ask? So if your pitch does not capture these three things, you have not pitched successfully. Your ask is the action point, like Mr. Hilary said when he met with Mr. Jimmy. So imagine him just having that nice meeting and there's no call to action. You're just going to have an interaction without outcome. All right. So thank you very much. So I will be using my laptop as a countdown timer. So I don't know if you should see your time or I just check it myself. So who's going to go first? I will start from left, then we'll move towards the right. So you have about 1 minute. I'm coming to set the timer. So you have about a minute. Sorry. You have about a minute. Okay. So this might be.
Yeah, it is.
So the time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I want to start by asking us that have you ever had days where we had plans, but we were not able to achieve our plans, we were not productive, not because we don't have the capacity, but because we are not mentally stable? Have you ever had that day because we are not able to achieve our goals because we are not mentally stable? It has to bring us to the fact that the mind is the engine, and when you are not mentally stable, you cannot be productive. So as a person, I'm a psychologist, and I've been able to work in the educational sector for almost a decade, and I've seen potentials. If you work with young people, you know that they have potentials. So I've seen potentials that excite me, but as a psychologist exposed to the clinical practice, I've seen the other side. I've seen young people become a shadow of themselves, and most of these issues, they could have been prevented if they had been addressed early. There are many times that I've been in the world round, and I literally have to leave the world round to cry and to release stress because I see people become the other side of themselves. Their parents are almost losing hope on them. So this became a burden, and this burden, God breathed on it, and it led to my organization, mental health organization. So we started by visiting school. We started with school outreaches, and we started by visiting.
Thank you very much. All right. Just take it on. You guys are saying we should do 2 minutes. You know, we're working with time actually. We're working with time, but it's fine. So anytime we need here. So I'm just going to set another 1 minute for you. So you can either decide to pick up or you stop, or you just start your next work. Just have 1 minute. Yes, start.
So we started with school outreach. So we started by visiting students and educating them on mental health literacy, suicide prevention and awareness. We started in Ibadan and we got approval letter from Ministry of Education, and we were able to reach over 15,000 students. So, but the plan is also that after educating them on mental health literacy, I've written 4 books by the grace of God. So there's a book I wrote for the adolescents, which is titled Dear General, and the purpose of the book is for them to rise above limitation and become who God has designed them to be. So now, one of the things we are working on is to get the book printed, because the instruction was to give it for free, and to also start in Lagos. So the plan was to visit as many secondary schools as you can visit in Lagos and collaborate with the Ministry of Education also here in Lagos. But the process requires some kind of fund in getting some documents and the mobilization, because the outreaches in Ibadan, we spent a lot with the movement, a lot of people volunteered and all of that. So the printing of the book, printing of materials that we are going to engage in when we are having the mental health literacy session with them, and the book we're going to share with them, and the visiting of the schools. I would like, okay, how much? For the book, we have about 1 million naira to print the book.
I'm not giving you a big platform. You just get it. Let's set the timer. That's not 2 minutes. It's a lot. Okay. We won't be bad if we have formal introductions. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Stacey, and how many of you have, if you are planning to travel out, let me see your hands up, or if you are probably okay, how many of you plan on owning properties in Nigeria? Even while you are there, probably you are building already, or you have buildings, or you plan on having properties in Nigeria. Now, we know that some of the problems people abroad have is when you hold properties in Nigeria, probably you put the properties in care of your family members or somebody, and there is management here and there. They cannot be, they are not accountable. So what I'm trying to build is like a business, a firm whereby you are out there. You don't have to even, some of you have to sell your properties before you move and all of that. You are out there, you have properties here, but you have a very viable and professional hand handling your properties and being very accountable to you. You don't have any issues, you don't even have any issues with your rent and whatever. You are very rest assured that your properties managed well, your businesses are handled well. You don't have to sell off your business before you travel out or even when you are there. So that is one of it is a pain that I've seen that there is a gap in that dimension that I really hope to solve with careful managers. So that's the business. Then the second one, we know that this is very rampant in Nigeria. How many of you have made wrong transfers? Maybe to another number on your phone. You want to make a transfer to this number, and then before you know it, you've made the transfer to another number. So the other pitching is about an interface, or more like an app, whereby you can just take maybe like 10, 20, 30 seconds of your time, go to the app, confirm an account number or whoever you want to transfer to. Before, by the time you do that finish, it links to your mobile app, and then you're able to make the right transfer. So that is also the problem that I hope to solve. Thank you very much.
The privacy issue. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So just give me a minute. So its time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Iga Diapolos. I'm the co-founder of Connectam. So basically, my friend reached out to me, Tony, because his refrigerator was having issues. And so, as everyone knows, we needed a reliable artisan who can fix his refrigerator. But the problem here is most of us depend on word of mouth, random contacts, and unreliable artisans. But here on Connectam, we bring up a smart platform where you are able to use AI to connect with artisans on the platform. Basically, we are a team of 3. Basically, me, my CTO, and the other person who is the COO. We are raising about $1 million funds to be able to push this goal to our desired destination. Our mission is simple: when the need arises, we provide. And so, without further ado, partner with us in any way you can. Thank you.
Good time management. All right. Okay, the time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zainab, and I created most issues. I'm a fashion designer. I started my fashion business 2020 when I wrote my WAEC. So I had to pay for myself because my dad didn't want me to learn fashion. He'd be like, okay, I want to go to school, just go to school, don't learn any. But because of I love fashion designing, I had to save for my food money every day. So when he goes to work in the morning, I'll just go to where I'm learning my fashion business. And he caught me one day when he came home and he was like, did I ask you to stay at home? Stuff like that. And I told him, okay, I wanted to learn fashion designing. So to be God the glory, I've been able to like create my brand myself because it really helped me out when I was doing my MD in school because my dad's business shut down, and I was grateful to God that He gave me the idea of learning fashion business because I had to like start sewing for my classmates in school because if I didn't learn it, then I won't be able to like support myself through school. So what I just learned now is just support, and I want my brand to be known. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Good time management. Give next person the mic. Time management is a thing, so yeah, so never can tell. Could be part of what you get marks for. All right, your time starts in 2, 1, go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samuel Vincent Peter. I'm into private business. And what are the things that motivate me to go into private business? How many of us as a guy has ever had a cut and then secure an injury while carrying a here? It has happened to some of us and we can relate to it. And for some of us that have not even secured the injury, we might have come to a point where we experience some pain while having our hair cut. And for some of us, we might have experienced having earbuds after we had our cut, maybe some weeks or some days after. So seeing those experiences and seeing those things, and according to statistics, there are quite numbers of people that have contacted diseases from sharp objects, especially like clippers and so. So that's the thing that made me to really get interested in going into private business. And during my university days, I have really practiced at doing home service for people. And one of the things I ask my people very well is that once you have any pain, once you feel any pain, immediately tell me so that I can adjust the way I handle my clippers and all. So now I am into private business and seeing the pains that children go to while having their cuts. We see many of them cry, but the parents don't know. They thought they are being fearful and all. But many cry because of the pains that they are experiencing that nobody can talk about. So now I'm asking for a set of price a month to just start a private business, especially to focus more on children as someone that has had the experience before, for them to have a safe, pain-free experience, and also for them to have a good barbing without someone placing their 4 or 5 fingers on their head. I've experienced they place their own hands on you like this, as if they even know what your destiny concerns. Thank you.
You can give next person the mic. All right. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Praise God. Good afternoon, professionals. Good afternoon, professionals. So over the years, so many of us here will agree with me that we all know how to make money, but not so many of us knows how to keep money. And making money will solve your immediate needs. But if you want to get wealthy, you need to learn how to keep money with a purpose. So today's event, I'm a financial consultant. My name is Rose, and I help individuals to plan towards building a lasting wealth, planning for your children's education, whether you're a parent or not, so far as you know that one day you're going to be a parent and you're going to be sending your child to the best school. And if you know that one day you are going to be retired, either you are forced to retire or it is your choice to retire, and you're going to be needing a lot of comfort at your golden age. So I help individuals plan towards a comfortable determined, and I also help parents and intending parents to plan towards their children's university education as well as build wealth. Because we're in this meeting today, if you are just starting from this meeting, I'm going to be giving you a 20% discount on your first payment. So once you reach out to me, just tell me you're from the Prophetsional conference to book a free consultation. The consultation is absolutely free. You can get my contact 08168177240. Thank you very much for having me. God bless you.
So, who else aside you? No. She's fine. Annie Marie. Hey. All right. You can come forward.
Praise God.
Hold on, let me just find out. Okay, your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, professionals. My name is Lois. I'm a civil servant and at the same time to the CEO of PVI Foods. PVI Foods is into produce of farm, farm produce, where we do fresh food from the farm. I'm talking of animal farming now. And basically this idea came because I like cooking. I'm a caterer too. So I noticed something that each time I get jobs and maybe I'm cooking at home, I noticed that we buy some meat and when boiling they shrink up or some gives you another color. So I decided to look into this matter and why and the likes, and I noticed that the way they preserve this meat are really not good. So I decided to go into poultry farming so that I can be able to do fresh food, fresh meat basically. So I did 150 breads at that point so that I can see how it will work. To the group, but I saw that I can actually rear a chicken for 3 to 5 months, slaughter it and maybe supply supermarkets at the time and the likes. But all of a sudden, not even all of a sudden actually, I was doing it in my father's compound and it was within the neighborhood. People were complaining about the smell and the likes, and I had to stop. But if I'm given the opportunity, I really wish I could get a land, a space, I can build pens and really venture into this business full time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for managing our time well. So let's have the last person come forward. Time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Waji Philip. I've been in the educational space for 5 years, and my mom is also a teacher, so I've worked in our school. And I noticed one of the issues that most teachers and schools face is that they have to scout for books that can meet their needs. When it comes to curriculum, they have to go out and search for books, and most times after using a book for 2 sessions, they discover that the books they increase in price, or there is a demand for them, and that leads to a lot. Then also, there's an issue in helping schools find out the books that will fit their curriculum. So, basically, my idea is that with the use of AI, because I've used AI, especially for a test run when it came to coloring books, you can use AI to generate ideas for books and topics that will fit the needs of schools, especially when it comes to if you want the book to be more in the explanation side, or a book that will help teachers understand, or maybe one that has to do with providing more exercises for children, whether you want it to be more aesthetically pleasing and all that. It's something that you can program an AI to do. So basically what I'll be needing is just a subscription to maybe Gemini Pro and publication rights, and also access to different schools. That's all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really, been a wonderful session so far. I'm going to give room for just 3 people to ask any one of them question as regards their business. So, and you have to be very quick about it. So you ask any one of them like, oh, I take interest in this particular person's business and I need more clarity. So you have just 1 minute to do that. So do you have any questions? Okay. So it means that nobody is going to buy anything you guys got. You guys are selling. So if you have a question, okay, for Moses, who else? Any other person? Okay. Well, Moses, can you hand over that thing to someone else so you could ask a question? Okay.
To ask this my brother here, when he was talking about making an app where if you maybe transfer money to someone a wrong account, then you want to develop an app where you can take the details of the account number you want to transfer to and put it in that app first to confirm. Verification before. Okay. So I wanted to ask, don't you think that normal app, once you put the account number, you bring the details of the person?
Now, the aim of the app is not specifically for
the details of the person. It's just more like a delay tactics to take like 30 seconds, like a breather. While you are confirming the name and the whatever, there will be a countdown. More like you need to see, breather. It will be AI powered as well. So by the time you're taking that breather, that 30 seconds break. Some of us Nigerians, you are always in a haste. Before you go check the account number, you have clicked send. So that app is more like a breather, maybe like in 30 seconds or in 1 minute cool off time. Then you just wait, check the name, confirm, and then before you now link it to the app to make the transfer. Okay, it's a good idea, but what I'm just trying to say is that if, just like we are saying, if we're patient, if I have patient enough, I will not transfer to the wrong person. So taking it to that app again, it's a time waste. Maybe I'm in an emergency, I'm in a hurry to send money to somebody. And I want to send money to somebody. Do you think I have that patient to take it to another app? Then you said it's going to from there take you to your bank app. Don't you think there are privacy issues? Yes. How are you going to go through that privacy issues? Because no bank will just allow you to come into anything like that. Okay. Thank you. There are some bank apps. The app is not specifically interfering with your bank app. There are some apps you can use independently. By the time you do that, before you now, it's just more like, okay, you will be redirected to your bank app, you select the bank or whatever, and you see it will log in into your bank app or anything, and you would the account number and the name will be like in the background. You now probably need to now copy it to the bank app by the time you log in. So there's no real interference with your bank app at all. There's no security breach or whatever. So it's just like, and the major aim of the app is just of time. They are very patient. So it's just specifically for that pool of time before you progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moses, for that question. So I'm going to firstly give Mr. Hillary opportunity to give individual feedback. So individual feedback is one. Then I'm going to also give my feedback. Then we'll give us about 2 minutes to decide on who. Now, information reaching me is that we are going to be extending the prices to 3 people. We're going to be increasing the first price amount and second price, and there will be a third price. So without further ado, let me invite Mr. Hillary to just provide the feedback.
Mr. Wies, jam my hands for attendance. Okay, so a few observations I will just drop. is psychologist, right? So we talk about mental health. So I don't know your demand, right? I don't think you mentioned what you want and all of that. So what I would just simply advise in that regard is when you want to pitch, talk about who you are, talk about what you've done, so the problems you identified and what you have solved, and you talk about what you want, right? So you just go straight to the point. So I don't know what you want, right? So fine, I can give you the mic now to say, tell me what you want, but I don't know, so it's gone, right? So the second part is care for, so I'm not really clear about this. People that travel abroad, the property thing, people that travel abroad and they need someone to help them monitor their property. Okay. So, all right. So I think it's actually a problem. Really, we have cases of even family members can even mess things up.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's true.
I think it's a problem, but I didn't really pay attention to that. When you were speaking. So I think maybe when you're speaking, you can address that properly. Then someone talked about the use of AI to connect with artisans. I think there are a couple of businesses doing this right now. Yeah, there are a couple of people doing this right now. So what I will suggest or what I can help with in this regard is I can plan for just a session with a doctor in the UK that is into AI and machine learning for you to, I'm not saying you should engage him, for him to give you probably better insights on how you can make this a better product, right? So I can arrange for that. So he actually, so in Nigeria, when we talk about AI, trust me, most times we talk about ChatGPT and other things, not the real AI. So when you engage with him, he works with the math works, right? And they build models for NASA and all of that. So core AI's level. So I'm sure we can share your insights with you. Then someone talked about fashion designing. So you need majorly brand visibility. So don't worry, just talk to me. Right? So I will share everything. Then the barbing business. So yeah, it's a problem, but I can't see how you're solving this. Right? You're saying people wound and I got my hair, I know people do have those issues. So it's not like you're just talking about the regular barber and all of that. So yeah, just be careful. Just careful. And also, I can't really see anything unique in this particular business. So I think what really sells is when you are doing something unique, not necessarily something new per se, right? But something really unique. You can make money from the business, but that doesn't really mean it's quite innovative, right? So I don't see any innovation in that business idea. Please, this is not to discourage the idea. Don't get me wrong. How many of you watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
They are not nice, they are like sharks. All right, so the financial consultant. I don't think you should pitch now, but the has declared. So, but what I would just also suggest again is, I think I'm going to get to the point where to scale as a consultant, speaking to, it will be difficult, right? And speaking to this person, it will drain you, ultimately. So while you are doing that, I think as you are doing that, you are also building thought leadership in that regard, and you're now thinking about to build a product that can solve that problem, right? So build a, be a very lightweight product, build that product, over time you begin to scale the product, and at some point you begin to use your personal brand to drive traction, towards that product. And that way you can make a whole lot, because you are not having to engage, people are engaging with your product. So volume and all of that, and then they grow. For example, as rich as Accenture is, they can't be as rich as Amazon because they still run some kind of consulting stuff. So start thinking products, right? Okay. Someone talked about farm produce, right? So majorly you are looking for funds to start your poultry business, right? I don't think I can help in that regard. Then help schools find books that fit their curriculum. So Chief, you just need to go and subscribe to Gemini. I think it's just 10K. Right? I'm using Gemini Pro, so I don't think it's okay. Okay. But what I can do is that I can link you to schools. I can do that. I can link you to schools. I'm sure I can link you to one school first. Let's start from there. Right? So yeah. So I think that's all that I have to say for now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Larry. So, that's pretty much said a lot. So, I'm providing my own feedback. So, the first person, Chindara, I think I've come across you on socials. When it comes to thought leadership, one of the best way I would always advise when you want to sell a product that somewhat revolves around you or has to do with people, you need to build a thought line in it such that when people see content related to this thing, they know is this person. Understand? So your pitch was nice. Like I said, one of the things that stand out in your pitch is your acts. Your acts are not clear. So if I am $1 million retreat or $1 billion retreat, definitely by God's grace I am in Christ. So I don't know what you need actually. You just stated issues. You are not very clear about what you need. That's one. How many of us use that? Have you ever sat with a therapist before, like you booked a session? How many of us here? Just one hand. So it just shows you that it's a problem. And in this part of the country, I think one of the issues we have with mental health is the stigmatization to react to it. Either they call it a spiritual problem or they say, yeah, we can eat. If you job, you go. So the people, when they have emotional downtime, they just have people these things. They don't feel like people can sometimes be out of it mentally. That's to show you that there is a problem. Just 1% shows you that at the most basic level, it's a foundational issue. And I like that you are starting from schools because when children build self-awareness early enough, one of the things it does is it helps them into adulthood. I'm not a medical student, but I know that the prefrontal cortex, it develops in early adulthood. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for majorly decision making, understand? And so we have vocal amygdala, which is responsible for emotions. But your emotions is just going to be everywhere without your prefrontal cortex helping you to balance it. So it's much developed in early adulthood. And once you're able to correct it from foundational level, up to that level. So all this, yes, is a medical term. Yeah, it's medical jargon for someone that doesn't know it's. But one of the things we need to just point out is who your target audience is, which you stated very well when your acts were not clear. So that's where. So we gave you time enough now. I think it was not. Yeah. So okay. But no cost now. And so it's good actually. You stated that I heard that, but no cost will attach to it. Your acts will not play. The next person spoke about travel abroad, how to help them as management. And when he was asking a key question, you don't make transfer to OB. No OB already has a security system. OB can run you mad. In the middle of the street, you just hear like, turn your head right, turn your head left. Even you say, I thought you are done with it, your head will come back. Who is this person I want to send money to that is stressing me? And they have a future also embedded in the app such that you are making large transfers for the first time. They will tell you large transfers. Do you want to still save? You start doing countdown for 30 seconds, 28, is you that will use your own hand to press OK, and you cannot even press OK until 30 seconds is over. I'm just saying that what you said is a very key issue, which is the asset management part. But the third part of it has a lot of GDPR issues. That's a data protection legislation. You have two different businesses. Okay, so I'm giving you feedback from that side. So data protection is a very key issue. Yeah, so and it's one of the biggest challenges we have. All these leaks, all these chats living where they're not supposed to live, messages escaping, messages that should be encrypted, now making it its way to online. So before you can do such businesses, people already have insecurities. My dad, before he used OP, since when OP has known, he said he can never open OP. Do you know why? Some of them actually the issue they are faced with some innovations. Some of them will tell you that they don't even have physical office. Some have issues, I don't complain. Even with how UPA and other banks are giving us ethics, we know that we can enter one space and complain, lament to someone sitting on the text. So all these issues are what you should point out. And one of the things that you can do when telling a story is align with people's pain. Yes, align with people's pain. When you align with people's pain, you better connect with them. So even I tell you that, okay, we have stores in this, that, I already bring down the level of insecurity. And you go to the next level of insecurity because in business speech, you need to identify your customers' pain points. It's from their pain points you can now provide solutions. And you don't just provide solutions that maybe 200 apps are already doing it. You need to look at the fault in each of these apps and how you can make it unique. So because some of them are using these apps, how can you make it different for them? So, but I like that your ask was very clear and you were on time. Was you on time?
Yes.
Was on time. So I give it to you for that. So thank you. Then the next person spoke about artisan, connecting people to artisan. I know there are quite a number of apps doing this. Yeah. So how can you make it different? See, one of the biggest issues some of our apps have is customer service. And if you look at conventional bank, even with a very good and robust traditional building, some of them don't even match up when it comes to customer service compared to these fintech apps, if you notice. So some fintech apps actually have, they can help you solve your problem within a short time. I like that a lot of banks are, like Access Bank for instance now, I had issues. I left my Access Bank for about 5 years. Yeah, no, not 5 years, like 3 years. I just left it there. So I want to access it back. And I just met one of them. The way we are doing conference like this, I just met them in their stand. And they just, I have Access Bank account, but I'm not using it a while. I'm thinking I should just get it back. She said, no problem. Within 2 minutes, she assisted me in getting back my account details and everything right there with just my phone. And that's what business pitch does. One of the things that you need to understand in solving a solution is you need to look at how best to meet these people at the point of their need. The artisans, a lot of people work with recommendations. So if you create an app, how do I trust someone that is, I don't know, so they are just registered on the app? How can you build customer trust? It's very important, that customer service. So, but like I said, it's very important that customer trust and customer service is built. That's the best way to engage because people only deal with people that they actually trust. So that's I'm already taking so much time. Mr. Larry already gave you a proposition which I would just advise you take use of it, make use of it. Then quickly, the lady for tailoring, I like her storytelling at the beginning. However, the storytelling kind of revolves around her. It's not telling the story of the audience, which is very important. So you are telling me a story. Yeah, I know where you are coming from, but how did you only show how tailoring helps you solve the problem at different stages of your life? But the person I want to buy from you, how does she want to know all the quality of service you're offering in terms of your so what do you help them with? A lot of them already have tailors that they are using in the start of fantasy. So how can you be different from the tailors? I know tailors used to disappoint. The clothes will ready tomorrow and when you get there, they're just cutting the clothes, or some of them just run away. So you need to look at the flaws of a conventional tailor and see how you can beat this flaw, and that's how you can penetrate people. So that's my advice for you. Your act was very clear, and I like that for you. Then the haircut guy, like Mr. Hillary said, you need to be more clear because children are very sensitive, and before parents can handle or give you access to their children, because there are some parents are very, very careful, and they would rather use the power that they're using for 10 years. So just trust and customer service is very important. You asked also, I know you said you need a building, but if you are doing such like that, you need to be very clear. So for the financial consultant, like your ask was clear, your request was clear. The farming person, yeah, you said you want to set up your poultry business. What is the cost? What is the amount you're looking at? Then the farm person, the consultant, you need to look at the AI tools that are actually very effective. Like it or not, you need to consider each of these apps and see how which one is effective over the other, and you see the ones that are very well up to date when it comes to information. So those are the feedback I have. So having done that, so just give us 2 minutes. We'll deliberate on our top 3 winners and we announce them shortly.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we have number 1 on my list is Mrs. Taiwo Ojo. So people are calling in, kindly come out and join me here. I have Miss Flourish. Okay, I have Mr. Israel. I have Mr. Daniel. And then I have Mr. Deji. He's going to join us when he joins us. So Mr. Israel is into the automation industry. He's the CEO of Tag Automations. Okay. So yes, Mr. Israel is the CEO of Tag Automation. So he has a lot of experience there. So feel free to ask him questions if you have. So Mr. Israel, my first question for you today is, automation is transforming how businesses operate. From your perspective, what industries stand to benefit from most automation in the next few years?
All right, so thank you very much, Ma. If you look at automation is very wide. Okay, it cuts across different industries. I talk about automation down to finance, okay? These are all applications here for the AI. AI is also part of what we call automation. So you look at it, basically, mention three industries that would really benefit from this automation. Look at the health sector. Okay, you would have the kind of robots actually carrying out operations. We will get to see that very soon. It's already available, but it's still in the testing phase. And also that's one area. Another area is the logistics area. Okay, where you can monitor your packages, make order, and get them as fast as possible. Why? Because they haven't limited men to actually process this instrument. You have automated warehouses that can actually move your product without having an woman trying to check, oh, where is this package going to. So these are two of the space I know that will be receiving the effect of.
Alright, thank you. Thank you very much. Very good, please. Let's always encourage them to clap. Okay, so please, for time constraint reasons, let's try to link our answers. Let's try to paraphrase everything and just thank you. Okay, so the next person will be Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel is a man that wears many hats. He's into UI, UX design, he's into forest trading, and many other things. So, Mr. Daniel, as a UI, UX designer, your work focuses on improving user experience. How important is user-centered design for businesses that want to stay competitive in today's digital world?
All right, so thank you very much, ma'am. Considering the fact that we have people from various walks of life here, I'll try to give an answer that everyone can easily relate with, right? How many of us have had this experience that maybe you're on IG and you saw this ad and you fell in love with it? You fell in love with it, and then you saw a link there, right? You clicked on that link, and it took like forever for that page to load. And because of that, you have to just shut it down, just keep scrolling. So as a business owner, you don't want your customers to have that kind of experience, right? So you want to ensure that the website you are using for your business or your mobile app, right, is the one that will load very fast. People can easily navigate through it, right? Even a child can even operate your mobile app, right? So because of time, these are the things you need to have at the back of your mind as a business owner if you want to thrive and you want to rise above your competitors. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so next is Miss Flourish. Miss Flourish is a tax consultant. I thought she was an accountant, but she's corrected me and said there are so many aspects of finance, and she's a tax consultant. So because of that, if you read the news and you follow up, you know that there's this tax reform that is currently driving it. Most people are just chill about it, but maybe you don't know, come March 31st, it's going to be a lot of fines. So anyway, so Miss Flourish is going to be addressing some of those issues. So the first question I have for her is, with the recent reforms in Nigeria's tax system, introducing a more progressive structure, such as the tax-free threshold for lower income earners and higher rates for top earners, what practical implications should individuals and small business owners be aware of?
Thank you for the question. Like she has said, that there are a lot of things that went around the news, and I've heard a lot of things like
able to transfer, put receipts, put pure water, it's 5 million naira. Wow. So there are a lot of things about taxes, and well, for individuals, and if you are working as an employee and there has been a change in your salary from December to January, can I see your hands? Even though it's 2,000, it's not possible.
It's
There have been a
2,000.
change.
It's 2,000.
Okay. And it might be very, very like minimal, very, very small, but they just introduced a relief where the first 800,000 of your annual salary is taxed at 0%. So if you are a low-income earner, you tend to receive more net pay, although the difference is not really much. The highest difference you can see is 6,000 naira. Yeah, and if you are earning about 20 million naira, thereabouts, annual income, you get to see a higher increase in your taxes. So it's a progressive tax system. So the higher you earn, the higher tax you pay. So that's what they are trying to implement now. And for small businesses, you know, so many people are trying to run away from tax and say, I will not just come. So you are really implicating your own personal tax. Because the money is coming through your account, and most times you see, you're hearing that many people should register their tax ID. And because your BVN is connected to your tax ID, very soon they will get structured to the point that they know how much you are earning. And if you declare X amount, they will say, no, you have to pay additional tax because of this Y amount. So as a small business earner, they are trying to favor them. Now they have increased the threshold of large businesses to 100 million gross income. So if you are earning 100 million gross income, you are a large business, and that's accounting with 250 assets. So as a small business, if you register your business right with the tax authority, you are doing yourself more good than because when it's linked to your own personal account, you tend to pay more taxes, which is under the personal income tax scale rather than the company scale, which is more favorable. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, someone has a question.
Praise God. Not necessarily a question. So there are some things you can do to actually get back your tax legally. Okay, there are some things you can do. As part of my job, there are some things you can do that you can actually get back your tax legally up to 24%, depending on your income and the tax you are paying, because they are actually taxed according to your payments. So there's a legal way, we call it a tax rebate. It's just the government compensating you for being such a thoughtful individual by putting up. Okay, it's just the government. The tax rebate simply is the government compensating you because you have some plan on ground, you have some financial plan and investment, and these are part of actually what I help people do, get back their tax legally from the federal government. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, my next question is to Mrs. Iwojo. Mrs. Iwojo runs a creative business. Okay, so Mrs. Iwojo runs a creative business. She has a printing business and a baking business. Mrs. Ojo, running both a printing and baking business requires creativity and operational discipline. What strategies have helped you manage two very different industries successfully?
Thank you very much for that question. Actually, both printing business and baking business, they have the same similarity because both require timing, attention to details, and creativity. In a printing business, you have to meet your client specification, you have to give them deadline, when they come to you and they want to print anything, you have to tell them within 48 hours you get your job. So you have to read their specifications. So if they want you to repeat that design, keep doing it over and over again. So one thing that I've actually helped me combining both business is delegation. I have a team that I delegate duty to. I cannot do everything on my own. So I delegate duties and I make sure everybody keep to tasks. When we have a new addition to the team, I teach the person what we do in our own brand. Where you are coming from is different from our own. So you have to know everything that has to do with our own brand. You might want to bring, it's not as if we are going to discard your knowledge of your previous knowledge from where you are coming from, but we add it to what we already have, and you have to work with what we have. Also, what I've actually is I teach people, not just you working for me. You have to learn from me, in the sense that when I'm not around, I can trust you. I can trust you to do everything, and I'm rest assured and relaxed that you're going to do the same work that I will do, and you'll do it perfectly. So I think that has a dedication and trusting my team.
Thank you. So it's possible to run multiple businesses if you delegate and train your team. Thank you. My next question is to Mr. Adedeji. He previously introduced himself. So, Mr. Adedeji, you operate at an intersection of technology and research. How important is data and research in driving innovation and decision making in modern businesses?
Okay, thank you for that question. So, I'm going to start from inside out. So, research is like everyone is a researcher at the most basic level. Take for instance now, you want to find out what's happening now. What you just need to do is just go in Google and type it out. So now, for you to now move from just being searching some information to searching genuine information, it now takes technical skill. So technical skill in the sense that it's also technical, meaning that you need to look at variable sources. If I open a blog now and I call it legit.com, you possibly might not know it. If you see information on it, you might not be able to validate it. But if Arise News posts that same information, possibly you may be able to validate it. And you check on Punch, you saw the same information. You check on, say, Bloomberg, the popular news station, and you see the same information. What does it tell you? That information is what is genuine and it's valid. And that's why you move from just conducting research. Well, how is research relevant for a business? You can't run a business without knowing what is happening in the market. So in the sense that if you need to improve on your business, you need to in big organizations, they have department for what they call it R&D. That's research and development department. So research and development is responsible for look at iPhone now. Look at iPhone when they release different models every time. And if you expect some people like this, as I release the iPhone 20 tomorrow, they're going to buy it, even though it's just one camera and put on the back. And it's just how they have built their brand in the start. So someone said iPhone is not for the rich, it's not for the poor. Mac related products not for the rich, not for the poor. It's for people with class in the start. So when I bring out my MacBook in a meeting, you guys start, even though you now find my size account in the start. So research is very important in your business because it helps you stand out. Market research is one aspect of research that helps your business create unique value proposition in the market. So you know this particular business don't research on them. They don't have this particular thing, and I'm going to introduce it in my own business. And technology, everyone needs technology in their business. You can't be doing business and be saying that you're using higher education to record information of customers. If something happens to them and maybe God forbid, those people, the person's business gets bombed with the notebook in the shop, you know that data is gone in the stand. So that's why you need to look at more creative ways to get a printer. Innovation, technology and innovation, they move together. You cannot say you are an innovative business, someone that is using automation to get things done. Say for instance, you have 2 people at your counter and they are serving 50 people per day, and you have an automation tool or machinery that will solve that same 50 people in 1 hour is going to attend to them. Just imagine the customers you will serve in 1 day. So, and that's where technology is very important to achieve more with it in the start. So, when you to wrap up, when it comes to data analysis, research, technology, data analysis, there is a connection between them. So now when it comes to research, you get your information, you get things from your customers, you input their information on a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet helps you generate visualizations. There are tools now that once I have my customers' information in spreadsheet, I just give it to the spreadsheet. It gives me outcome, it gives me a detailed report of my business. In June to May, this particular year, we made more sales. These are the possible reasons. You just need prompting. This AI you guys are talking about is also part of innovation, because you need prompting. It's not just to use AI. You need to understand the prompting. You need to know how to prompt it to give you the right thing. So once you have this skill knowledge, you can be you don't have limits to your growth as a business. So that's what I would just say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So based on the reply you just gave, I'm going to ask Mr. Israel, because he spoke about automating businesses. So he said many businesses worry that automation might replace jobs. So how can organizations adopt automation while still creating opportunities for people?
All right, thanks for that question. It's just like what Deji has said, a job that would need 2 people to attend to 50 people, you can use automation as a tool. So what I would say is organization, yes, they're bringing in these new tools to actually extend their work. What they should do is to reskill and upskill their employees, to be able to use these tools. So it's not necessarily coming to take away their jobs. It's just for we as the employees or as staffs of an organization to get to know how to use these tools. If you're still, for instance, let's take accounting for instance, you're still bent on using your double column card book and single column card book, where there are now ERPs and SAP software that can actually help you get your work done faster. So what I would say is upskill. Okay, this is your staff to upskill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My next question is to Mr. Daniel. You work in both design and financial markets, which can be quite intense. So how do you balance your spiritual life with the demands of your professional and investment activities?
Okay, you just need to understand that God is the foundation of everything. Right? God is the foundation of anything you're doing. So I remember there was a time I got a job and I was very busy and I was no longer showing up at the secret place, right? And I'm sure most of us have had that kind of experience before. And even when I prayed, I could not really spend much time in prayer, right? Until something funny happened. Then I think my final year results came out and my result was not released. Guess what? When I go back from work that particular day, I prayed all through the night. I prayed all through the night, right? So it just shows that if you are giving an excuse that, oh, I'm very busy, that's why I can't really make time for God, I can't make time to pray, right? It's just an excuse, right? I think in one of our prayer meetings, Pastor Mike said something that if you are too busy and you don't have time for God anymore, you are doing too much. You are doing more than God has given you, right? So you need to have that at the back of your mind. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. My next question is to Mrs. Ojo. So, for entrepreneurs starting small businesses today, especially in creative or food-related industries, what practical steps would you recommend to build a sustainable brand?
Thank you very much for that. So, for anyone starting any business, the first thing you have to do at the back of your mind is quality. once you start with a client, whatever you start with that client is what you should continue with. You don't have to stop or try to reduce your quality. You have to continue with that same pace, because whatever you start with, them will make them refer people to you, will make them continue patronizing you. But if you drop the standard, definitely they will stop coming. Also, the second point is make your brand clear. What do I mean by this? Whatever your brand represents, let people know it for that. Don't, like, how do I explain now? If you, some people without even meeting them, just looking at them, you know what they stand for. You understand? So just make your brand clear, that people know what your brand is known for. Also, build your social media presence. Don't be, like, the visibility that you need is not just around you. Once you show up online with your team, you build the customer service, build your branding, and make sure that across all social media platforms, you are being known. If you don't get a work, like you don't have a shop or you don't have a studio, like you don't have a working client, you have to be online 24/7. Just make sure that you have a team or someone that is known for that, someone that just, that's the person's duty. Your own part in this business, in this company, is the social media aspect. Definitely, with that 3 things, your brand is going to go far. Thank you.
Okay, my next question is to Ms. Flourish. Ms. Flourish, accounting often requires precision, deadlines, and responsibility. So how do you create space for spiritual growth while maintaining such a structured professional life?
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for the question. Like you said, accounting requires such precision. Because any mistake, imagine you want to cash a check of 10,000 and you have mistakenly had 1 0. You should know that you are in trouble. And when it comes to tax, we have a lot of penalties and interest. You can go for an audit and your principal penalty or your principal liability is 20 million, and your penalty and interest can be ×2 of it, 40 million. Because they will tell you that for every month that you miss this, your tax will be this amount. Like, for example, for transfer pricing, failure to file is 10 million naira. No explanation. It's already on the platform. So, and like now, my company received a lot of tax audits. I can say that I'm managing about almost 200 tax audits, and I have to respond. You have to respond within 30 days. If not, they can declare or deem the liability final and conclusive. So imagine you have 20 million from here, 1 billion from here, and all of them are final and conclusive. You are putting your company inside serious trouble. So you have to be very, very focused. Yeah. You have to plan yourself. Like, you can't allow just anything intrude your space. You know that. Like now, I know that by 3:30 or 4, I wake up. If I say I should have another sleep, you should know morning sleep. You say, let's small time. Before you know, you have slept 1 hour extra.